was a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Hi there. Thank you so much for tuning in to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy. I am speaking with a newish friend of mine. Her name is Rebecca Lewis. What I love about Rebecca is that she is not afraid to try new things, and she's also not afraid to fail. She has such a great attitude about it that you just, if it doesn't go right, you just try it again. And I'm so inspired by that. And I love all the things that she's up to. She is a physical therapist by trade, and she is a new homeowner, and she is trying all the things, which I think is very cool. So I'm going to get to Rebecca. And I've got an interesting new friend on today. Her name is Rebecca Lewis.
Hello.
Hello. I met Rebecca. I've never met her in person, but we have been following each other on Instagram and just really kind of hit it off. And Rebecca's doing some really cool stuff that I'm probably going to geek out a little bit. So forgive me.
I love it.
I'm just so in love with what she's doing. So Rebecca.
Oh, thank you. That's so great to hear. Thank you so much.
So yeah, we haven't met in person, even though we live in the same town, but it's only been a year and there's been a pandemic.
Yes.
And I think that you told me that you ventured into your awesome home projects just after moving into your house last year.
Yeah. So I began last year around December. We moved in the spring, and then I had always been interested in this type of stuff, and I never thought that I had the time to do it. I thought that people who had these big vegetable gardens, or people who made all this homemade stuff, that was kind of, they lived on a farm, and that was like what they did. And I began to try and incorporate the things into our life, just one by one, and I was shocked on how easy it was.
Awesome. You are living my dream, girl. I'm seriously, I know I told you this, but I want to just like follow you around and
oh my
gosh,
gosh,
the cool things that you've been doing.
I am not that interesting. Thank you so much.
But so you thought that it was only, I love that you said just you were trying one thing at a time and you couldn't believe how easy it was to incorporate into your life. And that is like exactly what I'm trying to bring into this podcast, that you don't have to do all the things.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to try, one thing and, kind of tackle one thing at a time. And once you have it, kind of memorized, or, the muscle memory, it's not going to be so, it's not going to take as much time. It's not going to take as much brain space. And then maybe you can try something different. And you're doing exactly that.
Yeah. I learned that in the beginning, I had, all of these things I wanted to do, and I would try to do them all, and I was like, I can't do any of them at this pace. So as you said, I picked a thing, and I learned how to do that, and then incorporate that in, and then I tried something else. And I think that it can be overwhelming to make these changes, but it's totally doable. And I always tell myself that, 1% is better than nothing. And if you can't do it all, but that's fine. You just do what you can.
Yes. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So what did you actually start with, Rebecca? What was the first thing that you tried? And I do need to let you know I tried that bread recipe.
Oh yeah.
It was
Was
not
it
amazing,
good?
but it was the best looking bread I've made.
Oh, great. That's awesome. I think the first thing I did was just like homemade bread.
Ah,
And kept it easy. I didn't even go into the sourdough world. I was just like, how can I make an easy yeast bread? And it was not as hard as I thought. Like, not that each loaf I've made is perfect, but that's okay. You don't have to be
right.
perfect.
We're not taking pictures of every loaf.
And no, we are not taking
We're just making toast and sandwiches, right?
Exactly. And it was actually at a time in my life where I had long COVID and I was home and I wasn't able to go to my job. And as someone who has always identified a lot with what I do and being active, not being able to was hard. And I was trying to find things that I could do in with my limited health at the time. And I began to just like pick these small projects. And some days I feel sick and I would take me a whole day to do, like an hour long thing. But that helped me. It helped me enjoy the things again, because when you're sick for a long time, you aren't able to do what you had always done. It's hard to kind of know what to do with yourself. So it actually began as a way to get me out of my own head about being sick, and putting some of that mental energy into something else.
Awesome. Sure.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I had a hard time being on my feet a lot. So like we had a stool in the kitchen and I would just be like, it does sit mad in between each step I have to like lie down. I'm just gonna get up and do something. And then as I got better and as I got stronger, I could do more. And I just kind of went with that, and now I'm healthy and fine, and I've been keeping that all going.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I totally missed the long COVID thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so bread would be a great start for that, because it's not, you don't have to be standing up for a long period of time, because you would like mix it up and then let it rise and then knead it a little bit and let it rise.
Exactly. Yeah. And the same, I think I did yogurt early on.
Mm-hmm.
I did bagels because it was it were things that would take all day, and I could kind of have these breaks in between. Um, but as I'm sure that you've seen, as you like dive into this homesteading type world, it's hard to stop yourself. It's so much fun. You're like, I'm just like, oh, I've done this. Like, let me do this and this and this. So
what
it's
else can I do?
I know, it's fun.
That's awesome. So what was your, that's awesome. I'm so glad. It was so cool that you started out with bread. That's just, that's like an intimidating thing for me. And I can't, I don't know why. It's intimidating for me. What were some of your favorite things, or what are some of the favorite things that you've tried?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things are the things that I thought would be hard, and they were super easy, like granola. I was shocked how easy that is, and how expensive it is in the store. And I was like, oh my god, I can make this at home in like 15 minutes. The same with different types of soft cheese. Like, I was shocked at how easy it is to make ricotta. I can make that in like 10 minutes, and it's so much more affordable, and it tastes so good. So I think those so the stuff that is easy and cheap are always the things that I love to do.
You're talking my language.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying like breads and cheeses, and you made yogurt.
Yeah. And then in the spring, we began a big vegetable garden, or big, for us, it isn't actually that big. And we planted seeds and seedlings, and we honestly had no idea what we were doing, and we just bought a book, and we did what the book told us. And we have cucumbers and zucchini and peas and beans and a ton of herbs. It's been fun each day to go out and see, and then figure out what I'm gonna cook with what we have here at home.
It's true.
Which is amazing. It's so
true.
Fun that, yeah, and I feel like it's so special having a meal that you know that you grew. It just, I don't know, it tastes a lot better, I think.
Yep, I agree completely. Wow. And I saw it. You posted a picture of your peas, and I think
Oh yes.
Last I heard, your green beans were just starting to get going.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got cucumbers and zucchini as well.
Mm-hmm. And we had cantaloupe and blueberries and carrots and radishes and hot peppers and bell peppers. I think that might be it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really ambitious. That's awesome.
I know. That's kind of who I am. I'm like, let's just kind of put it all on the ground and see what comes up.
Well, totally. And that's seeds are, they're expensive, but they're not that expensive.
No,
And
yeah.
you will get a good feel for, what you need to work on or what will grow well, even if you're not super adept at it. Like
Mhm.
radishes are so easy and they take like 3 weeks.
So easy. Yeah. And our carrots are great. Our peppers are but that's okay. I have to figure out why, and they'll be better next year. I think to have this lifestyle, you have to not be discouraged when things fail or they don't
Right.
work. I think you have to kind of engineer and figure out why, and then fix it or change it, and that has to excite you. I think if you expect it all to happen at the same time and it's all going to be fine that first time, then you're just going to be disappointed for a lot of the time.
Don't I know it? I know. And and the tricky thing about gardening is you can know everything and you can do it perfectly, but there are so many variables that could be working against you. Like we have horrible cucumber beetles at our house, and they're tougher than I am and I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
And then the drought. Of course,
Mhm.
we're supposed to get like an inch or two of rain tonight,
Oh,
but it's been really dry up until a couple weeks ago.
yeah. Yeah. And I think that a big factor for me, which I know that you're interested in too, is the whole sustainability aspect.
Mhm.
I think I spend a lot of time thinking about our whole health and food supply system, and the impact of transporting food on trucks and gas and pollution and the whole food supply chain, um, and I think if the more that we can eat local and grow food, that all helps. And I don't get me wrong, like I go to Shaw's and I go to Trader Joe's and I buy food, but as I said before, if you can just do a bit, that is still something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you saw me at Shaw's. I do the same. I'll get the local food from the CSA or farmers market
Mhm.
or whatever, and then like supplement with the things that you can't get at the farmers market.
Yes. And I think that if everyone just did that like a little bit more, that is how we can see some change.
Right. Well, especially with the food supply issues, it's
Yeah.
harder and it's more expensive to get from farther away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and if it's right in your backyard, you don't have to go far at all.
Yeah. And it's, I'm a physical therapist, so I'm all about getting out and, moving your body. And it's good exercise. It's good to do physical things. And I think that a lot of people think that exercise has to be like, oh, you go to the gym or you went on a run or took a class. And I think that if you can have an active life, whether that's gardening or kneading bread or pasta, that is all exercise
Right.
too.
Right.
And if that is the type of exercise that you enjoy, then that is what you should do. People to do things that make them happy.
Right. Yeah. And I know I have 2 watering cans that I bring out to my greenhouse and my little herb garden. And we have plants in the way back of our yard, which is not like miles or anything, but if I carry 2 watering cans a
Yeah.
few times, and I can do some little weightlifting and pick up my arms. And
Yeah.
so
We went blueberry picking on this trail behind our house, and we were out there for an hour and we picked, I don't know, like pounds of blueberries. It was insane. But I was sore and tired from like squatting down and standing up, and that is healthy. And I think that we all can benefit if we are able-bodied, that we can get out and move our bodies.
do something. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you, let's see, you were making bread and you were making yogurt, and now you're doing sourdough bread. Did I hear that right?
No.
Okay.
I tried.
Oh, okay. I made that up in my head, and that's okay.
Yes.
Someday, maybe we'll try that together.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
did you have anything in all the things? I mean, because you were doing more than just cooking things, because you were gardening, but you did some like DIY stuff. Did you not?
Yeah, I did. I taught myself how to crochet and how to knit. I knitted a pillow and I made some vegetable hangers for our kitchen. I also I have been drying herbs, and I'm trying to make my own tea and make tea blends from herbs. It occurred to me like a year ago that all of the herbal teas are just herbs that I can grow too.
Yeah.
So I planted a lot of herbs that I saw just listed on the side of my boxes of tea, and as they've been coming up, I've been picking them and drying them, and I'm hoping that if I can get a couple of jars of each type, then I can experiment with some tea blends. So that is my latest project.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I love that, you were clever enough to just look at the back of your tea packets and say, well, I can grow those things.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what I was saying in the beginning, that everything kind of seemed hard. And then as I chip away at them, it's totally doable.
Right. Yeah.
And we switched from paper towels to cloth napkins, and we've been trying to slowly transition into a more sustainable project products with less waste, which is huge.
Sure.
And I think that that is something else that if you go into your house and try and make all of these changes at once, then it's hard. But if you just pick a thing at a time, then it isn't that hard.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And I mean, how it's like the changing your paper napkins to cloth napkins is it's such an easy
Easy, so easy. Yeah.
and it's just, I mean, we're doing laundry anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Yeah.
things like that are such easy switches. I know the paper towels are hard for some people. I know it's kind of hard for us, just like
Yeah, it's hard for us too. But it's I have them set up next to our cloth towels, so I always can kind of think like, is this an option here? And I think that that's been helpful, having them right there, so I can choose.
That's awesome.
And I think we've been just trying to decrease our waste and be a lot more conscious about what we bring in the house. Because we have we all have so much stuff. We don't need half this stuff. And yeah, that's all.
We're like kindred spirits. I love that. You're like doing all the things that I've been thinking about doing.
Oh, good. A big thing that I got into, I kind of have the habit of like diving in and getting super into one thing. And so in the spring, I was doing a lot of reading about all of the toxic things in household products. And like our cleaning supplies and our beauty products, and just how we don't totally even know what we are putting on our skin and breathing in. And it was one of those things where once I opened my eyes to that, it was horrifying.
You can't unsee that information.
You can't see it. It was everywhere. But even the things in candles that we burn because we want things to smell good, but that good smelling stuff has been found to have carcinogens, and the same with skin care, which we put in our skin, and that gets absorbed into our bodies. And I think that you can be a bit extreme about this. Like, we are in a pandemic. You should use antibacterial real soap, and you should clean things. But just having some insight about what it is that we're using was very eye-opening to me. Have you gone down that horrible hole yet?
about everything that I'm putting on and taking into my body?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, not super in depth, but I'm trying to be really mindful about what I'm putting in and putting on. I mean, I don't wear makeup or anything like that, but the cleaning stuff I am very mindful of. My husband, I think, does not like the vinegar water. But I say just don't be so dirty.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. My husband jokes about this one night that he came home from work. He works 12-hour shifts. So he got home late, and I just had this big black bag, and I was just like tossing in all of our like cleaning supplies and our like
Poison. It's all poison.
yeah, like our candles and our soaps, and all like, do you know what all this is? And he was like, oh my God, like we need that. Like, we don't need this stuff. I'm gonna make it all just by hand. And he was like, okay, Rebecca. So, but I did. I made homemade like shaving cream and vodka cream. I tried my hand at homemade deodorant, but I will say that didn't really work well. But I tried. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. That seems intimidating for me as well. Like, how do you? Because it's like, we're so used to the one that, you just roll on or whatever, and what you're making is not going to be exactly like that. And do you have to?
yeah,
You smear it on with your finger?
yeah, yeah. It was
That,
like a cream that you would just like
mm,
put on. I tried it for a couple weeks, and it didn't really do the trick. So I've gone back, but I buy like, natural non-aluminum stuff.
right.
But yeah, that I have to fine tune a bit more. And we do a lot of the vinegar to clean. We still use bleach, like in our bathroom and stuff like that, but we try
Mhm.
and use other options as we can.
Right. For us, like the bleach, if we have to use bleach, it's like bringing in the big guns because what we're doing
Yeah,
isn't working. But I
yeah,
try not to.
yeah.
Because we're also on
And
a septic system, and it's not
oh yeah, you
good
got
for us.
that. Yeah, I want to make homemade like laundry detergent. I haven't done that yet,
Oh,
but
we
I
should
just
do that together because I want to do
yeah,
that.
I've heard that it's easy. See, I just haven't actually done it. But yeah, I think all of these things, they end up being a lot cheaper and a lot better for you and the environment. Like if you think of all these harsh, heavy duty cleaning supplies, and then they go in our water, and they go out into our soil. And I think that we have to start being a lot more conscious of how we treat our
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like it's a mindfulness. Like I just need to have the right mindset where I will, I'm thinking about what I'm doing and if there are other options. Like you were saying with the paper towels, you put it beside
yeah.
the fabric towels and then you make that choice. It's a conscious decision.
Yeah, we began getting growlers of beer at local breweries instead of like 6 packs
Wow.
because
And then you can bring them back and get a refill, right?
yes, It's a lot better. Like it takes a lot better. Sure, it's from the tap, and you don't have any waste.
There's no waste.
Yes, so it's like small things like that we can all do. We just don't think of it all the time.
Yes. All right. And so one of the questions that I had for you, Rebecca, was there anything that didn't go well? But I think that you just kind of answered that about the deodorant.
Yeah, that.
And I'm glad that everything's not going perfectly, because that's kind of,
that isn't how it is.
It's a learning process. This is all like, learning what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and then if something doesn't work, then you tweak it and figure it out.
Yeah, I tried to make a lemon tart this spring, and somehow I made like a lemon quiche. It was horrible. I don't know what happened. It was like so eggy, and I still don't know what occurred, but it was like awful.
Was it like a custard?
It was supposed to be like a graham cracker crust with like a lemon custard on top.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, it was supposed to be really good. And I basically made like a lemon quiche on top of a graham cracker crust, and it was not even edible. It was awful.
Like lemon flavored scrambled eggs, sort of?
Yeah, exactly that. Not even sort of. It was that on like a sweet graham cracker crust. That was maybe the worst thing I've made.
I'd eat that.
I don't know. I don't know. And then we were trying to make blueberry ice cream, but we figured it out. Our freezer had somehow gotten turned down a bit. So the ice cream maker bowl, it wasn't cold. So we fixed it and we made it, and it was delicious.
Oh,
it's so good.
Oh, I was so sad for you, but I'm so glad that worked out.
Right. But that took like a couple of days of why isn't this working? And we thought then maybe we had the sugar content of our berries was so high that it wasn't. But we weren't sure. We added some more cream. We tried again, but that shows that like you just have to kind of try out different things, and it's not always just gonna happen on the first try, but each time you learn, and then next time that the ice cream doesn't freeze, I'll check if it's actually cold enough in the freezer, which makes sense, but you don't think that. So it's all about try feeling air.
Yeah. It's not going to go perfect the first time. It does. I mean, everything doesn't go perfect the first time.
And I think sometimes in our world of social media, we only show when the things are like, oh my God, look at this amazing thing I made. But half the time it's not, and that's okay.
Yes.
And I think that I should be better about posting all the things that don't actually work out.
Well, we all should be more real on social media.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson for us, because if we're comparing ourselves to everyone's perfection, which is what they're
Mhm.
posting, there's no way to, and then it's this feeling of competing, but it's
Yeah.
not. Like,
Yeah.
our,
Exactly.
yeah, the world is messed up. Social media
Oh yeah.
is a great thing, and then it's not.
It's how you use it and how much weight you put into everything that you see.
Right, right. Is there anything that you're hesitant to try out at this point?
I am hesitant. Yeah, I can think of so many things. I'm hesitant about like everything I haven't tried. I'm hesitant about foraging. I don't always trust that I know what I'm picking, and I don't want to hurt myself. So I'm always hesitant about that, and that is something I would like to be a lot more comfortable on. And I'm still hesitant, and maybe you could help me on this, is my canning. I don't trust myself all the time with the canning yet.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, it's
That would be
things
fun. I
that
can follow you
hurt me.
around and you can follow me around, and
Yeah,
we're gonna nail this whole sustainability thing.
oh, I love it. Yeah, it's the things that if it doesn't work, it will like kill me, as opposed to, oh, I made this thing that doesn't taste
Right.
good. Like that's okay, but I don't want to like eat a mushroom that is deadly. So that's the stuff that scares me.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you said, my next question for you was going to be, is there something that you're really wanting to learn? But it sounds like maybe canning.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
cool.
foraging.
Foraging.
And I think I would love to get chickens, but I don't know if we have enough space, and I get concerned that our next door neighbors wouldn't be okay with us having chickens in the backyard. But I really would love a couple of chickens.
Have you talked to your neighbors?
I haven't. That would be a good first step in finding out if I could get chickens. So that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know if they'll be like, oh my God, no, don't get. I don't know. You never know.
People should do it. You should do it.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. We'll get it.
Okay.
Get that
Great. Help me with all these things.
Let's see. So I know that you talked about sustainability a little bit, but so when I say the word sustainability, Rebecca, what does that mean to you?
I think sustainability means decreasing my impact on our world by using what I have.
I love that.
Yeah, and I think that we are always have space that we can improve on that. And I think that a lot of people take our world for granted, and we have to start taking care of it.
Awesome. That's perfect. All right. So my last question, if people want to follow you and see all of your cool projects that you're working on, how would they find you?
You can find me on Instagram on Rebecca's_backyard.
Okay. And I'm going to put that in the show notes as well, so folks can find that easily.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. So I am so thrilled that our paths crossed on Instagram. You're really going for it, and I'm so inspired by that.
Thank you. Thanks. That means a lot. I'm just trying to, figure it all out, and I don't know everything at all yet.
It hasn't even been a year. It's amazing. Yeah. But so thank you so much for sharing your life and your experience with us.
Well, thank you. And I hope that we can be in touch and help each other with our future projects.
Oh, you betcha. Awesome. I want to just take a quick second and thank my guest again. I also need to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast and Jane Bolduck for her amazing music.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down and mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder, how did I get